All right, everyone, we're jumping right into the action here. Map number 2, and I got ahead of myself at the break. I said it was Nuke, but no, Nuke is map number 3. Should we get there? We're actually on Inferno here. Party Astronauts picking a map they've only lost once on in the last 17 times they've been here. So the heavy favorites to take this one, and what would be now a 2-0 since MIBR could not secure the win in that attempted comeback on Dust 2. But JOTA and Exit are going to get a couple here, and it's all MIBR in this opening round. Viz, the last one standing, and he has the bomb on his back, so maybe a couple of frags here, and he'll be able to at least get a plant.
That's the least that Party Astronauts want out of this round, but it will be denied nicely by Woody waiting in the pit. And a very clean pistol round comes through from Made in Brazil. Party Astronauts unable to get anything really done with it. And that'll give Made in Brazil that nice little early boost, taking away their opponent's map pick and sending us on to a third map of Nuke. You did mention how good the Party Astronauts have been on late, but Made in Brazil on a 2-game win streak, 2 16-3 victories on this map, once to B-Hop and once to Boca Juniors.
Yes.
And this Made in Brazil squad, no slouches either, having decent games against the likes of G2 and Vitality over across the pond in EU, so they're no strangers to this map. This map, Vito, has really come down to really, I think, who is the better team at that moment in time, because all three maps are maps these two teams have had decent success on.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, if you look at Inferno here for Party Astronauts, or if we get a chance, we do. They've beaten EG here, in 16-7, of course, in the RMR. Strife as well, ATK, Team 1. Chocolate Check back in the day. That's going back to February before they were known as Gaming Gladiators. But anyway, we'll get back to the action here. JOTA is going to take down Jonji, and Pone finds the instant play. Just with a Glock here. Cello going to do some more damage. No! The jumping P250 from DJ drops him. Now we are trying to come in on the flank, but it's Viz with the Glock getting one. Not a second! Oh no, Viz! And oh no, MIBR! They lose 2 to only a Glock. This is an eco round for the Party Astronauts. Barely anything invested. Exit the last one standing with the A1 as he's towards that B site. This is catastrophic for Made in Brazil.
It's not over yet. That is the one silver lining for MIBR, is that Exit still lives. And he's made time to make this rotation happen. Despite not having a kit, he's here, only burning about, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. No armor on the opposition, and he does have a helm. Nade goes out, and it will dunk on Viz, and he was the high HP player. Ben is a one-shot. Ben is a one-shot, and he will get domed as well. Exit comes up with a hero clutch. He has enough time to defuse the bomb. But the economic damage dealt by Party Astronauts in this round will be hard to recover from for MIBR. And with the bomb plant, Party Astronauts can buy up fully here. MIBR are far from out of the woods. In fact, you can say the woods are creeping around them.
Oh my goodness, I still think that's a catastrophic round for MIBR. I mean, Viz walked out there with a Glock from underpass, gets the first one, okay, but that second one as well, the fact
he ran out of ammo.
I mean, yeah, I know he ran out of ammo, stuck on a reload, but ooh, that's just really tough. It should not have been that close for MIBR. They still managed to get the round, but their economy is in the dirt. A bit of damage here taken by Ben walking into that Molotov, returns it to JOTA, who's down to 74, and that nade almost finishes Ben off, but he survives by the skin of his teeth, only 4 HP remaining. Buy-up definitely better here for PA. Cello and JOTA are stuck on those FAMASs, and the others on A1Ss. MIBR really need a solid round victory here to make up for that previous one. I honestly thought PA was going to be able to pull it off, really. I mean,
I did too.
It was so close.
That nade saved him. That nade was the saving grace right there for Exit.
Yeah,
if he
it
has
really
to
was.
win that with rifle, it's very unlikely. But that's a good opening. What, he doesn't get the second? He needs that second kill. He needs that kill on the DJ too. This creates more problems for MIBR here. It has time starting to dwindle down, but the bomb has not really gone. Oh my gosh, Jonji with the smoke spam. And this could just be the round. As soon as that bomb goes down, MIBR might just call the save.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now you have to imagine as Turtle is trying to spam away towards mid. Maybe gets another one here. No. They are going to grab that bomb, are the party astronauts, and bring it towards the B site, and it will be a free plant. MIBR still want to hunt in. I mean, Exit's up close and personal here. He is not backing off by any means. They really want to try and pull this one back. Nade's going to get tossed on forward. This time, well, he still gets a chunky nade onto Viz, and Jonji gets taken down 18, but I think he was really hoping that would lead to a frag like it did last time. This time, though, not gonna happen. And the party astronauts, despite taking quite a bit of damage in that post plant, don't lose a body, and they will move on to their first round victory here on Inferno.
It's a good first round victory, and they take full advantage of the economic situation of their opposition too, which really was exactly what party astronauts needed to do after the back of that Glock round. They did so much to set themselves up for success, and they do exactly what they need to do to capitalize on it. They work around the map, they get their picks, and they get that bomb down and win the round. Those 2 saved guns are going to be good for MIBR, but the other thing is the rest of the team's broke. So they're going to have to go for a force anyway. So the force is going to be a lot stronger with the M4s, and we saw what party astronauts were capable of with the Glock. Deagle a lot more potent than that. It's still, though, a bad situation for MIBR as a whole, and PA need to get this round on the board if they want to really start to cut that momentum off from MIBR and get into the driver's seat of this map early. Lots of nade damage, though, done to both sides. Ben and John G hemorrhaging, and then Woody and Jota as well. But when you consider the fact that the buy is so far stronger for party astronauts, and now they've lost the opening pick, this round no longer looks too good for the party astronauts.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's kind of tough. There is a bit of an opening on the A site that quickly gets closed by Woody, but a couple of rifles still for MIBR. They haven't been able to recover the AK. They would need to push out to get that, of course. Anyway, bomb going to get grabbed here by the party astronauts. Molotov going to get tossed for truck side. They still have not decided which site they want to hit, but it appears as though right now they're saying, you know what, let's just charge up into bracket and try to take control of it at the very least, especially considering they have a player in apartments. And Ben just going to back off to get this smoke tossed forward for Moto, I would imagine. Or perhaps Library. Either way, they're still going to end up on this A site eventually. Just want to get that utility tossed on forward. And here they come. It's certainly not a bad idea to go in this direction, but they have the A1S of Turtle to deal with. Will they decide to pincer on forward to the B side? Won't really be much of a pincer attack, of course, since they're fully committed to A. And yeah, it's going to be the A side here, Austin.
Yeah, it is. They're just giving the option that maybe they won't the other way, but they're going to commit towards this B side. Take Turtle behind the smoke is the main threat. And he peeks around, gets one, but Ben and John G simultaneous kills. Open up the A side, bomb will go down. 3v3 retake will be initiated as well, and Exit has a kit. They have to make their way fast, though, however, as the A side retake is very difficult. Cello leading the charge up through arches. Exit just behind him, Jota going through alt middle. Might even take the apps run. Should be a gun down in mini for him as well, and now Cello's picked up an AK. Becomes a lot more potent now for him. No utility, though, aside from that one flashbang, and the time. It's ticking. It's almost gone. It looks like they're playing exits now, John. I think they've given up hope of winning this round. The party astronauts will strike back again, but when you consider the money and the economic damage that Made in Brazil are just trying to do at this point, it's still a solid result for both sides, really. DJ is going to be a dead man here, surely. Wait, never mind. Did they plant backside, actually?
I think that might have been backside, so DJ was in fact safe from that explosion, so he survives. They keep a couple of AKs moving forward, but MIB are doing the damage, keeping the party astronauts at bay and at least saving 2 rifles for themselves, as Exit had the A1S and Cello with the AK, but their economy is a little bit rough. I'm pretty sure Turtle could invest here into a pistol, but decides against it. Probably wants to try and get that op into the hands of Woody in that following round, so opts for more. Oh no, there's the CZ. Okay, just a very late buy up coming through here, but MIBR will have some pistols to work with at the very least. 2 players on the B site, 3 over on A, and you see the lurk for the party astronauts. That is, I think, John G. No, DJ, excuse me, DJ. Yeah, my mistake. I'm seeing a lot of, Yes.
Yeah, we'll get
we're
that
gonna
radar fixed up there for you
exactly.
guys, so
It's
don't worry about
crossing
that.
it's crossing me up a little bit, but either way, 106 left on the clock here. As party astronauts are going to go for some banana control. They have it, not even really contested much by MIBR, and they can't contest it because they don't have much utility going into this round. Only a flash and a smoke remains for them. 3 players waiting on the B site, and 1 will be isolated by a CT smoke almost certainly here, unless
Yeah,
they
but they
decide
do
to
have the
push through it.
rifles. Both
And
rifles
that's
are
true.
here,
That's true.
and the flash. So there's a lot here for MIBR to try and win the round with. Cello's going to be that first to face. He sprays down a second with the smoke.
No.
Big plays from Cello, and here comes Exit, trying to lock them out of the sight. Ben is stuck on Banana, and the rifle stack on B from MIBR has paid its dividends. And MIBR can now win this round in peace. Turtle with that last second CZ buy comes up with the last kill. And, well, that's a great response from MIBR, and Party Astronauts have looked vulnerable the last couple of rounds, so it's no surprise that MIBR were able to do that with a bit of a gamble stack.
Yeah, MIBR get the eco round victory. What Party Astronauts almost did to them with the full-on eco with those Glocks coming out, but good on them, at least. They find themselves a third, and they get free AKs pretty much across the board off the ground, which helps their economy significantly. Nade's going to fly through down Banana, and oh, Janji eats a nade, then a bullet to the face from Cello afterwards. That makes it a 5v4 for MIBR, and they get the Banana control they were looking for. Not much utility for Party Astronauts to work with this time. And you see Pwn Alone pushed up towards mid, but he's got to wait for the reinforcements before he decides to commit for something, because at the very least, you're hoping for a trade heading into bracket. But MIBR this time, with all that banana control, they can keep 3 players here on the A site extremely comfortably.
Incredibly comfortably. And they're not going to let up on the aggression either. It served them well back on Dust too, and they're going to try and do so on Inferno, but DJ is going to get the opening. Flashbang doing its job. JOTA struck for another on the flank, and here comes Exit, who's really starting to show up here. JOTA strikes as well. DJ has an AK and a 1v3, but up on top of the box, Turtle will not be hiding. He'll be waiting for the face, and it will be a 4-2 scoreline now in the favor of MIBR. Consistently losing a player or two, but that's still solid in terms of CT economy. Once you start losing 3 or more, that's when things get really bad for you. But for the Party Astronauts, they'll be back on a bye again. Galil's on 2, AK's on 3, and a bit of utility scattered around the board. But you have to imagine they want to get something else on the board here early. They want to start building up some confidence here in Inferno. They don't want to allow MIBR to get this momentum back on this map. But look at the aggression coming through again. This time it's Woody. It's this banana stack too from Made in Brazil. And it's almost like it's designed to counter Janji specifically, because everyone knows how Janji loves to play a banana on this map. It's very infamous, and if they can counter Janji, Party Astronauts are going to have a much more difficult time of getting anything done on this map.
Yeah, and Janji wasn't even expecting that at all. Like, he got caught with his pants down coming around that corner. Exit drops one, but he gets traded by DJ. That said, Turtle spots out the bomb carrier, takes him down, and now the Party Astronauts have to rotate all the way back towards mid just to get this bomb back. They have a couple of engagements that could play out in their favor, but no, DJ dropped by JOTA as Viz was trying to retrieve that bomb. Now Viz, realizing there are 2 players on the A side, is probably going to hightail it to B, but he has to know there's a player here. He has to be ready, and there's the AK out. Looking to clear out Cello, but he has to Thunder Stomp, and, well, as a result, Cello hears him, takes him down, and that'll be another round for MIBR. So the buy-up does not yield any dividends for the Party Astronauts. And despite the fact that the Party Astronauts had that impressive showing on their eco round, MIBR have recovered quite nicely.
Yeah, they really have, and it's a good look here from MIBR. Party Astronauts taking their time out right now as they want to make sure that everything is going to go their way. Right now, things have been going the way of their opposition. They want to get that momentum back. For Party Astronauts, it's almost like, what do you do to counter this? Because MIBR are taking the fights to them. They are winning a lot of these aggressive duels, as evidenced by that banana play last round, and we've seen that a few times now throughout this match so far, this map so far. And now that Woody is the op, too, maybe even an aggressive alt mid-peak, more banana aggression, there's a lot of possibilities he can make a play with that AWP in hand. And it's only going to make things more difficult for the Party Astronauts moving forward. Woody is going for the mid-peak, but he's not going to overstay his welcome. Instead, he'll go for the bait and switch out towards alt arch side. It's a nice idea there, and I think it's going to work out well. But Cello's the next man to hold the banana angle. The nades are going to go a little deep. He's going to be blinded, however, still sprays down 2. Janji will trade it back, but here comes JOTA. He's got 1, but traded back again. B site is wide open, and guns have been picked up, but the health on Ponalone is quite low. He could get spammed through the smoke or even taken down by the Molotov, going on towards the plant spot. He's going to go for the back fountain plant now, as he has nowhere else to go. 1 HP as the nade flies through. And there's still another one in the hands of Exit. The utility has been on point right now for MIBR. And right now, really the brunt of this round rests on the shoulders of the IGL, Ben Leet.
Yeah, Ben needs to get a couple here, and he's going to get nothing. Turtle drops him. That leaves Pone with only 1 HP and a prayer to try and clutch this one out. He's going to try and play the time. He gets the frag on Turtle. That buys himself maybe enough time to rotate around and try to take down the diffuser. Smoke going to get tossed onto the bomb. Do they even have time? They can't find it. They can't find the bomb. MIBR finally do stick it, but it's not in time. It's going to be a victory for Pone alone and the party astronauts. 1 HP is all he needed, and a well-played rotation to ensure that his team would come out with the round. Wow.
Oh man, that is something else. The way that round works for the party astronauts. I think he got stuck on the fountain. I think that's the only reason that bomb wasn't defused, because it looked like he wasn't able to move around there, because you normally be running around holding E trying to get that bomb defusal. It's just, man, that's one of the most unfortunate things to happen for MIBR in this series. They've gone back to that 3-stack on B though, John. They're winning that banana utility engagement. This time Ben Leet's taking the brunt of that damage. But for party astronauts right now, they're doing their best to get some momentum back. The timeout did do its wonders. It did do some good work right there. But I don't think that's a round you could really expect to be replicated easily. The guns are going to have to do their job. And Woody, with this 3-stack on B, is ready for any aggression that comes his way. But I think party astronauts are waiting for aggression of MIBR instead. They're not trying to take the issue here.
As they should, because MIBR have been quite aggressive going down banana, but they've decided to fall off it. Oh, Pone alone jumps onto the logs and finds Woody over the half wall. That's the opener that PA was hoping for. Molotov comes in as well. That's going to push both MIBR members back off of this aggressive banana hold. Maybe the party astronauts have solved the riddle of the B site here. Janji gonna toss a smoke in front of him. And that Molotov's taking him down to 34. It snuck behind him, and I don't think he realized it would blossom right next to him and give him so much damage. So MIBR now have rotated fully towards the A site. There's a bit of a fake, I guess, from the party astronauts with the smoke that was thrown for Arch side, but surprised to see MIBR rotate everyone off B without even spotting the bomb.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't.
That's a weird call.
It's a very bizarre call. That's the round, too. They're not going to go for this. There's no way they should. They have no money. I don't know what possessed them to go for the gamble stack. But that's the thing, too. They've been gambling a lot so far this half. A lot of their plays have been gambles. And every once in a while, the gamble is going to go against you. The odds are not always going to play out in your favor. They do get stung by it here. At the very least, they'll have guns into the next round, but it really is a question mark in the overall scheme of this one, and it gives party astronauts a round for pretty much free that they didn't have to work too hard for.
All right, well, MIBR, couple of mistakes happening in this round. They completely abandoned, of course, that B site. The previous one couldn't get on the bomb, couldn't deal the final blow to Pone alone, only had 1 HP, and that's 2 rounds that could have easily gone their way. And that's the problem here for MIBRs. They're making a few mistakes, as was the case on Dust 2 as well. Party astronauts within 1 of tying things up here. And, well, at least for MIBR, the good news is that 4-man save means they get a proper buy up here. On the other hand, the party astronauts are the only one with the big green in their hands. And, of course, Pone alone, ever dangerous with that, as he showed in the latter parts of Dust 2. Here we go, though. Round number 10 underway. Janji going for his typical aggression down banana, and there's going to be a Molotov thrown right at his feet. He defuses that with a smoke and then tosses a nade on forward, but it doesn't connect for much damage at all. Only chipping Cello down to 96. Janji continues his trek up banana, though. He really wants to at least keep these players here, as the rest of his team is looking to gain some space towards the A site.
Yeah, Party Astronauts are going for that default, trying to gain space around that map. They're leaving Janji to do what he does best, harass over towards Banana, and get control towards top car. The rest of the squad, though, working slowly but surely around through halls. Another player watching back towards middle, and Pone alone has Janji's back. Trying to bait out a peek right now. Are the Party Astronauts out towards B? It's a 2-3 setup, pretty standard. 2 on B, 3 on A, but Cello with a nice swing drops Janji there quite swiftly. That's going to spur Party Astronauts on towards this A take. They want nothing to do with B now that the jig has been discovered. They have to go fast, but they're going to take their time in brackets. This could cost them. Woody tucking into Cubby now is in a good, well-defensible position, and he has JOTA coming through, which makes this bait and switch so much more powerful. Smoke will fade, and JOTA can try and do the deed, and that sound will maybe give them a distraction, but Viz is ready for it, and that's a big win for the Party Astronauts. Time, though, is ticking down more and more, and JOTA Turtle taking out 2 critical players, making it a much more winnable situation. Time, it's almost gone, and now all the Party Astronauts have fallen. A nice strike there from MIBR. PA stalling out in brackets. It cost them big time, and MIBR recover their round, and that's got to be a good confidence booster for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for MIBR to at least come out with a clean round, but in my opinion, they should have a bigger lead right now. And if they continue to make the mistakes that they have throughout this first half, and it goes on into the second half, things are going to get more and more problematic for them. I mean, personally, I'd still love to see a 3-map series and see MIBR come back into this one, because I think they have the potential to be one of the top competitors for the Party Astronauts in Challenger League. But even going into the playoffs, right, should they face off against each other. But let's see if they can deliver on the promise that is Inferno. 1:24 on the clock. Janji. Just going to wait here at the top of Banana for a moment. Tosses a smoke for CT. Cello pushes past it, but he was flashbang, so he backs off momentarily. Still gets 2. Flashed and just unbelievable through the smoke. Finds himself the 2K. JOTA gets 2 as well. Pone alone manages to find JOTA, then sneaks into the smoke, and Cello knows he went through. He has to. Yeah, they're waiting for him. And Pone alone should go down, and he will. Woody finds him, and MIBR find a 7th here. Not much of a challenge from the Party Astronauts.
Not at all, but I think the Party Astronauts are just looking for 6 rounds out of this half. They can get 5 or 6. They should be at least thinking they're in control. MIBR are looking for a strong half to recover from dust too. But right now the Party Astronauts seem to be lacking a lot of their flair and their fangs. It seems to be a very muted performance from them on this map. A lot of their victories have been luck. And right now, it's not a sustainable victory, right? It's road to victory for the Party Astronauts. They seem to be running up against a lot of brick walls. And like that beat take, they got spammed through smoke, and then they died to boost, and they don't check the boost when they go over. They don't check the smoke. They're just tunnel visioned right now. And it seems like they're just getting suffocated by this aggression towards B from MIBR and the constant threat that MIBR could be pushed somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, Party Astronauts typically more comfortable on the CT side. I think they get 54% of their rounds. Yeah, 55 actually on CT side. So I'd say if they can find themselves 6 rounds, they should still feel comfortable here on Inferno. But MIBR, certainly no slouches on this map either. JOTA's going to find the frag through the smoke. This should almost certainly be an MIBR round. I say that, but we have to go back a few and remember that the Party Astronauts almost pulled it off with a similar buy-up. Turtle waiting up Moto. Will take down Janji. Gets stinked by the Glocks, but he will not be much worse for the wear. Finds himself the 3K, and there we go. That's more like it. MIBR get the easy 8th.
That's an easy peasy 8th right there for MIBR, and here comes another buy-up from Party Astronauts, but this is going to be one of their last of the half. And again, it's not going to be a strong buy from them either. They're not going to have full AKs out. They have 2 Galils again. Utility isn't the best across the board, and nobody on Party Astronauts is even close to eclipsing double-digit kills. This is quite disastrous as a whole right now from PA, and I think another timeout's probably on the cards here, regardless of whether or not this round is won. They need to be able to recover mentally, and it seems that they've almost checked down after winning Dust 2. Pone's getting chunked down by Utility. This early banana control again working out so well for MIBR. And PA definitely have to find a counter to this. A-side takes have not worked out either, and they seem to be lacking decisiveness when they want to make their moves. And it's becoming a big problem for the Party Astronauts as they're running out of racetrack on this first half side. They need to find a way to get in. They need to find an opening. Without that, it's going to go against them, and there's the double hold towards Halls. Woody gets that first peek. It's a dry swing by DJ, and an easy duel for Woody to win. And again, the Party Astronauts will start down a man and work what looks at the very least to be a lot more towards the opposite side of that pick.
Yeah, Party Astronaut's going to grab that bomb. And the hit, it will be coming towards the B site. 43 seconds left on the clock. What do they have for utility? They have one smoke. You have to imagine that's going to go towards CT. Will leave an opening at Coffins. Flashbang going to get thrown. Maybe they throw the smoke towards the site, actually. We'll see where it ends up, and Viz decides to... No, it's CT. Makes sense. Cellos boost up on flower pots. They're going to have to be careful as they come out here, and JOTA manages to drop Ben, gets himself a second once more, and Cello finishes off the last two again through the smoke. He loves to find those frags from this position over at the B site, and MIBR are on to 9. Party Astronauts have just been completely shut down pretty much every time they've gone towards that B site. Maybe once when they got through right when Ponalone managed to clutch that 1v3, but it's been tough.
Yeah, it's been really tough for the Party Astronauts. They failed to find a sustained road to success, and it's been a lot of the same problems plaguing them on Inferno that were plaguing them on Dust 2 as well on their T sides. The CT side, of course, was a masterclass, but right now, Party Astronauts are getting stonewalled on their map pick. Granted, again, we did talk about how MIBR have won 2 straight maps on Inferno, and their losses did come to the likes of Vitality and G2. Right. But it still seems to be like Party Astronauts are looking lost on this map right now, and it's a map that they've won 16 of 17 on in the last 3 months.
They are...
And
yeah,
they're good on it.
They're very good on CT side as well, but that's great opener there from John G. Flies out from Boiler, gets one at balcony, but it's Cello to find himself at 2K. Woody drops Fizz. John G's chasing, but he can't get the frag. Gets one with the Molotov, but he can't finish off the player with the pistol, just whiffing on all his shots, and only DJ left standing now. Has to try and recover the bomb, but it's been spotted by JOTA, and well, yeah, this round is pretty much over. Likely going to be double digits for MIBR. And you have to wonder if the Party Astronauts just thinking about CT side already here, given how things have really not gone their way over the last 4 rounds.
Yeah, no, things are not going their way at all. They'll have a last-ditch gun round before the end of the half. Round number 15 coming through. And they're not going to call a timeout before it either, interestingly enough. I would say probably want to call your timeout here before what could be the most critical round of this game. At the very least of this game so far. But they're going to do what they can to get it done. Fast B control right into the nade stack of MIBR. John G down to 20 HP, DJ to 83. The Molotov's thrown from middle as well, and there's nowhere to run for Party Astronauts. They're getting sent through the vents, and there is no sign of success for them on this T side. 4 looks to be all they'll get, and Made in Brazil are making Inferno their home. This banana utility again proving to get the better of the Party Astronauts.
Yeah, that's just fantastic utility usage. They're reading the Party Astronauts, who do like to go for that aggressive banana control early on the round. But 2 nades come through that forces PA to fall back. But as they're falling back, 2 Molotovs get tossed immediately by MIBR to prevent them from retreating. And one player just got caught in them and gets taken down. So yeah, now they're in a 5v3 in the 15th and final round of this first half, and at the very least have that top banana control now, but it's a 2v2 going on to the B site, and they might end up going to, well, the worst decision, I would say, which is the A site, because 3 players are waiting there for MIBR. Pone and Ben. In fact, all 3 players for the Party Astronauts charging into bracket now. 27 seconds left. They have to make this quick. 3 smokes remaining. We'll see if they decide to use any of them. They have that flashbang. There's one of the smokes thrown in front of the site. Exit and Woody are set up perfectly. Woody gets one. Exit gets another. And then Exit drops Ben lead to win the round and the half. 11-4 as we head to a break. All right, we're jumping back into the action here after a less than inspiring T side from the Party Astronauts. And in fact, the T sides have been a bit of a struggle for both teams throughout this BO3. If we look back at Dust 2, let's see if MIBR can change things here on Inferno. But as mentioned, the Party Astronauts feel much more comfortable playing CT side of Inferno than do T side. So let's see if they can get back to their usual game. Woody and JOTA going to be working their way down Banana. All of them MIBR going to join them. 3 players waiting to greet them on the Party Astronauts end, and the utility has been bought up quite aggressively here by PA Jonji with 3 pieces and Ben with 2. Jonji's already going to toss a smoke on forward and a flashbang as well. That nade could be very chunky, and it is! Flying around the corner, both Jonji and Ben, they find 2 frags, and MIBR are sent packing. They have to retreat off of that hit. Well played for PA, and MIBR lose 2 players and take damage on 2 more on that attempt.
Yeah, it's a good bit of banana control there from the Party Astronauts. Maybe taking a page out of the MIBR book, because we saw how strong the MIBR B hold and banana hold was back on the last half. But Party Astronauts are not going to over-rotate here. They're going to hold their lines. They're not going to stretch things thin. They have the man advantage. They have 2, to be exact. And they're going to wait and hold their line towards A. They don't want to get caught off guard. They're just waiting, holding. Patience is a virtue. The Party Astronauts can very well get rewarded just by holding their nerve. DJ on site, 1 in Graveyard, that is Viz. Jonji's here as well. The Graveyard player goes, but Jonji and DJ have a pair of kills. It's all down to Exit, but Jonji shuts him down as well. And a pistol round converted for the Party Astronauts. Very clean. They have to be careful not to run into the Glocks, because they almost won a Glock round in the last half. And MIBR have shown to be very potent with the lesser buys.
Yeah, Jonji looking more like the player that got 25 frags on Dust 2, at least in that pistol round. It was a bit strange, I would say, the way Party Astronauts were playing on their T side. Jonji got caught out pushing down Banana, just holding W quite a few times, and you have to mix it up at a certain point. I think he was obviously frustrated too, but either way, back on the CT side gives you a good chance to reflect and calm down. Party Astronauts will be buying 4 MP9s into this round, and A1S in DJ's hands up against, as you mentioned, just the Glocks here for MIBR, aside from JOTA, who upgrades to the Deagle. Bomb plant would be great here for Made in Brazil. It's going to be a hard path forward because both bomb sites are guarded quite well.
And Party Astronauts aren't over-aggressing this either. They're holding their lines again. They're waiting for MIBR to run into the meat grinders. As I say that, Jonji starts to get aggressive down Banana, which kind of is his shtick,
It's his
whether it
thing,
be
yeah.
CT or T side. That's his thing. He goes aggressive Banana, and everyone knows it. But the thing is, can you stop it? MIBR were able to stop it on the CT side, but it's a lot easier to stop on the CT side sometimes than it is to stop on T. And look how much time's been burnt down, too. 44 on the clock. They have to make their push, and Ben's just holding passive on the B side. Jonji's the only one really doing anything. He does get tagged down, but here comes the flash for him, and he will get at least 1 second flash comes through to buy him more time. Up and over the half wall, but he can't dunk on him yet. Boost goes up and top, but he's not been taken down. They jump off of it. Ben's come through to help out. Jonji gets the next, and the bomb is sitting on top of the wall. Worst possible scenario. And the mop up has been converted. 6-11 now as the Party Astronauts strike for 2 in a row. Bonus round upcoming, but on Inferno, MP9s can be very, very deadly.
Just watching both players jump over the half wall, just playing peekaboo pretty much. And the fact that Jonji survives in that engagement is crazy in and of itself. But, you know, his teammates created a bubble around him. Nice support, the flashbang as well, to ensure that he could do the damage. And yeah, Party Astronauts don't lose a single player, and they're on to the bonus round. See if these MP9s can do the job once more. They're going to want to try and take these close range engagements, and that's why you see Jonji along with Ponalone stacked up together here around sandbags. A bit of utility being dropped to Ponalone. And JOTA's going to get that Molotov tossed on forward. That will force Jonji out of here as he's going to go back to his usual position here. That half wall, can he get the opener? No. It's Turtle with the headshot. Nice trade from Ponalone, though, to ensure that it remains even out of 4v4. JOTA going to toss that flashbang on forward. Party Astronauts are gambling that a rotation will happen here, and it hasn't yet. They do leave one behind in Pone. And of course, given that they're on a bonus round, they do want to try and have as many players on this on the site that actually gets hit as possible.
Yeah, the thing is, too, with Pone alone being spotted on B, they should be expecting at least 2 players here because Ben and John G are the B players for Party Astronauts. And I think they're just giving the spam forward to keep that illusion up. Okay, we're going to try B, guys. We're not going A. We're going to keep going B. Yeah, that's the plan. But in reality, they're going to try and make their way back towards A. No, they're going to walk in on this. They're just going to go for
No,
this
they
take.
faked the rotation.
Yeah, this could end very poorly. This could end very poorly here, but they get the double opening. Ponalone's unable to come up with anything there, even though he had a lineup. That's the round, surely. I don't think DJ's going to go for this. Viz can, since he has the MP9, but save the M4 on DJ and keep that CT economy up. Bonus round not converted. A couple more kills would have been nice for PA. But all things considered, this is the round that MIBR should be winning.
Yeah, for sure. Party Astronauts couldn't find that opener. If John G gets it, it's a different story. But once MIBR find that space, they do not rescind it. And in fact, Viz wants to save the MP9. Don't necessarily mind it. I think everyone else is going to have A1Ss. Ben's a little short on cash. And MIBR also don't want to lose these AKs because they won't exactly have that much money going to the next round. So, going to be MIBR doubling up on the scoreline of the Party Astronauts once more, 12-6 in their favor. As Viz tries to come out and do damage, you can't blame him. He tried to get one more frag and take an AK out of the hands of MIBR, only had the MP9, and of course, pretty much everyone will be able to get A1Ss, if not everyone, and yeah, it's going to be A1Ss across the board, with not as much utility as they would have had if Viz survives, but not a big deal. It's only 4 pieces that are missing.
Yeah, it's not too big of a deal at all. That AK upgrade would have been nice, but Viz is unable to come up with it at the end of the last round. Ben gets singed a little bit, but he's still going to be alive for now. Although he does need a lot of more fire damage at the last second. That's quite a bit more damage, I think, than he probably needed. But 2 players have already been boosted up in the window. They're going to creep on forward for MIBR. And they've drawn the rotation to Pone alone away from A. He's playing back towards Speedway, wary of a wrap. DJ and Viz have a lot to do to hold this line, though. They have a lot to do to hold off this push, and DJ's probably the first to be called upon. The Molotov will land on him, and he gets forced out of position. But Viz and DJ have found a pair. Nothing in return just yet for MIBR. Bomb down on Speedway. DJ nets another. Pone alone's done a lot of damage and still harassing around the corners. It's all down to Cello now, and he's got the first headshot. But Ben will be there for the last pair. And at Party Astronauts with a very clean gun round, although DJ, lucky to be alive at the end of all of that. Still, strong from Party Astronauts on the CT side. It is by far their more comfortable side. But when you look over at MIBR and they have 12 rounds on the board to the 7 of Party Astronauts, it's still a very tall hill to climb.
Yeah, but that's a good round victory. Only losing 1 body in the Party Astronauts. I have to say, not a good clear from MIBR towards Pit. Maybe that's why they're calling this timeout, because they barely checked it, threw them off and said, you know what, that's enough. No, it wasn't. There were 2 players playing there, and then they ended up doing most of the damage, and afterwards MIBR were pinched in upon and couldn't do anything else. So, Party Astronauts feeling good. They have 4 AKs now picked up off the ground, and Pone alone going to settle for the A1S. That's very good news for PA, and it looks like MIBR are going to go for 2 AKs bought up, and the rest are going to have pistols. It's a weird one. All right, we'll see how that pans out for them. Viz is going to get taken down to 39 right off the docket here. And then he's going to toss a Molotov in towards window room.
Slow and steady right now for Party Astronauts as MIBR are continuing to work their way towards A. John G is that snake in the grass out towards Mail, but I don't think he's going to be shipping anybody off to the River Styx just yet. DJ, that first engagement dropped early on by Woody. But MIBR aren't going to commit off of this. They have time to work around. They still have the AKs in hand as well. They're trying to bait out more aggression from Party Astronauts, aggression that will not come. It's a more passive rotation through CT spawn. And now as the players are sitting in bracket, Viz is getting antsy, but Cello holds the line there. It's all down to Pwn alone. He's got a lineup for 2, but he's only able to get 2. Now it's a man advantage for MIBR. Ben sprays away wildly, unable to connect the damage he needs to get a kill. Jonji will be called upon to rotate back. The bomb yet to go down and even cross the site, but Turtle will now punch in those digits and start that 40-second timer. Ben coming through. Bullets being spammed through that smoke towards Moto. Jonji getting boosted over top of the smoke. Spots out absolutely nothing. The smoke will fade and they'll have to fall off of it. JOTA's holding out towards the Moto push. Might even go for a little more of an aggressive peek. The nade, the Molotov actually, I think that will do a little bit of damage, but JOTA is just crisp with it. 2 swift headshots dispatches the 2 from PA. And only 2 rounds away for overtime guaranteed for MIBR. And then after that, it's looking likely that they'll be able to take us to nuke because Party Astronauts, this hill is becoming more of a mountain every single second.
Yeah, and that's the JOTA we were expecting to see coming into this BO3. 2 crisp, clean headshots coming through for him as MIBR on to 13. Party Astronauts, surprisingly losing the bodies early. They went for that double peek. I shouldn't say double peek. They single peek twice from truck side, and that was really their undoing. Ended up having Pwn finding 2. By that point, once he goes down, there's no one left on the A side to defend, and you're just constantly trying to fight your way in. And MIBR didn't give up any space at all. So, going into round number 21, Jonji's going to toss that smoke towards Banana. Party Astronauts are forcing up here. And, those 2 AKs that were bought up by MIBR in the previous round, very good decision in the end because they ended up dealing, I think, almost all the damage, if not all the damage, in that round. Oh, Cello opened things up here on Jonji. 5v4. Party Astronauts don't have anyone else in the B site. I mean, if I'm them, might even just call for the save at this point. Yeah, Benleet's backing off. They are just going to save these rifles. MIBR will double up on the scoreline again on the Party Astronauts with a 14th here.
Yeah, it's only just counting down that bomb timer now that's separating MIBR from that 14th and doubling their opposition's score. But for the Party Astronauts, it seems like Inferno has finally gone against them. They've run up against a team that is able to counter them every step of the way. Perhaps PA got a little complacent after the victory on Dust 2. Perhaps there's something they were trying to work on that just didn't happen to go their way on Inferno. But either way, this has not been a good display from the Party Astronauts on their best map statistically. Again, 16 of the last 17 Inferno games have been wins for them. A 16-1 record on this map.
Yep. That is
and that's counting EG in there.
It's crazy. Yeah, like we mentioned, 16-7 win against EG yesterday. Well, match going to be paused here. Likely a timeout called by the Party Astronauts. Yeah, it is a PA timeout confirmed. Talking things over. I mean, you have to force into this one at this point. You have a couple of A1Ss. Pwn's going to go for the Swag 7. Definitely going to play that one towards the half wall to be. I say definitely. Maybe he'll go into Boiler as well, but usually you'll find him at that half wall doing the damage. And we've seen him spark his team before with this gun. Maybe it'll happen here again against an MIBR squad that's executing quite nicely on their T side. I have to say, they're taking their time, being patient, poking and prodding for those openers. And then once they get it, they are just charging into the bomb sites and taking care of business. So 1:45 on the clock. Here they go again for that banana control. There go the nades tossed up at the top of Banana, and Jonji will eat them all, only going down to 58. All things considered, that's not too bad. Then he tosses a nade of his own and doesn't do nearly as much damage as he was dealt. Jonji, he's actually going to be the one at the half wall. Where is Ponalone playing? Yep, he is, in fact, over at that A site, was leaning to Boiler. Jonji, the first casualty, once more at Banana. That is Exit's AK finding his dome. Now DJ tosses a nade and then a Molotov right under it. Exit could go down here, and he does. In fact, to the bullets of DJ's A1S. Turtle trying to recover. He's kind of trapped here, but at least he dolls out quite a bit of damage and forces Ben and DJ to fall off that venture down Banana.
Yeah, but still, the damage has been done in terms of a 4v4 situation, which gives a lot of room for MIBR to work with. So you see how passive the Party Astronauts are playing on this A side. Pwn alone stuck on Cold's Era box, and Viz is out towards Library Arches, working his way now closer and closer to bracket.
They're waiting,
But it's still
though.
not a good spot. The bomb is being brought towards A, and unless Viz gets anything, which he will get shut down by Cello, this round should be another one on the board for MIBR. Pwn alone should not get roasted here. They have to clear. Oh,
no.
He gets ticked. He has to go, and that's the round, surely. There's nothing Party Astronauts can do out of this one. They know it. They have to save the MP9 or the M4 into the next round, too. It's going to be a 15-7 scoreline, and MIBR in firm control of this one. Nuke is the final map here in this series. It's another map which the Party Astronauts are statistically solid on. They're second best overall. And MIBR, 3-3 on the map as well. But it really has been MIBR's map here on Inferno. There's been no doubt from start to finish.
Yeah, and that's an excellent Molotov to throw MIBR, knowing that eventually it'll bloom upwards onto that box, and it did. And Pwn, once he gets tagged, says, all right, well, let's just jump down and hope for the best, and he doesn't get anything out of it. MIBR up 15-7. They have 8 opportunities to close out the Party Astronauts map pick and send us over to Nuke. Which, I mean, we both kind of figured we would get to, right? Given if both teams delivered, which it's been a little sloppy, right? I think for MIBR on Dust 2 in the early goings, things were very rough. They had a really nice run to get up to 11 rounds, but then the Party Astronauts came back to shut the door. And here are the Party Astronauts. T side was just lacking in pretty much every way.
Yeah, the T side's been lacking, but the CT side has as well. It hasn't just been entirely the fault of the T side for the Party Astronauts. Their defense has been about as full of holes as their offense was lacking substance. So right now for PA, they'll call another timeout and get back into it, but it's map point for MIBR. They're looking to steal away their opponent's map pick and go all the way to a third, looking for that reverse sweep as well. And will John G get picked off on Banana? Again, that's the question I pose here. And it has been the recurring theme of this map so far, is that opening pick going the way of MIBR on Banana. Almost every single round it happens. It's not going to happen this time, though, at least early on. He's going to fall away. Just be satisfied with the utility damage he dealt to Woody. But right now for MIBR, they know they have the ball in their court. They have full possession. And once they make their move, they're poised, they're primed and ready to be able to shut this down.
Almost certainly. Cello could walk into a crossfire, though. He comes out, and he does. Head taken off by DJ. That's a good start for the Party Astronauts. Not over yet. Ability flying on forward towards Banana. Smoke thrown perfectly at the half wall. So now MIBR have to wait for that to dissipate. They do have Turtle boosted up to have a peek on over to see if anyone decides to push on forward. But now Pwn gets JOTA. 5v3 for PA. Turtle creeping his way up. And who else but Janji waiting to greet them should they decide to push out here. 47 seconds remaining on the clock. And MIBR slowing down the play considerably, but it looks like it's going to be a B hit. You see Woody already lining up his smoke. They're just waiting for probably the 35-second mark. And there you go. Moving on forward, Janji immediately pops the head of Turtle. Now Exit should get the trade. He does, but it's a 4v2. They have to push forward. Time is really against them, and so is their utility. Good flashbang thrown. I think that was by the Party Astronauts, forcing MIBR back once more. Exit does take down Ben, and they're going to try and stick this plant immediately. DJ spamming through, but he can't connect on Woody. Even though he had the lineup, Woody survives with 3 HP, and this bomb gets planted. MIBR could close this out right here, despite the big advantage the Party Astronauts gave themselves.
They have to be very wary of the banana play, though. They're not watching now. Exit goes back to keep an eye on his rear end. But he could get blindsided at any moment. Woody's in a bit good one-for-one spot, but he's able to get one with no further peek. He's got to go to the Glock. It's all down to one. It's Pwn alone versus Wood. Exit. Op V rifle.
No
and Pwn's
kit.
got the M4. He's got the one tap, but he has no kit. He has no time. It will be made in Brazil, making this a 3-map series. And boy, do they do it in style. Exit is buying the time he needs. And MIBR will get some sweet revenge for what Party Astronauts did to them in the one prior.